Welcome to Pro News Weekly. Let's dive into the latest updates on the financial markets. The dollar continues to rally, stock indices fear a pullback, gold is in a strong position, and Bitcoin has broken out of its cage. It seems that when Donald Trump sneezes, the markets get a fever, and when he's in a good mood, they flourish. The U.S. president's statement that he has no plans to oust Jerome Powell has bolstered the U.S. dollar. The White House's decision to postpone tariffs on imports of critical minerals has caused precious metal prices to plummet. Comments from U.S. Republicans suggesting that Iran does not plan large-scale executions of protesters eased geopolitical risk, reducing support for oil prices. The Trump factor will undoubtedly manifest itself in the fate of the U.S. dollar. However, this will most likely happen in the second quarter. The appointment of a new Fed chair and the replacement of FOMC governors with people loyal to the president will allow the composition of the committee to be reshuffled and force the derivatives market to bet on aggressive monetary expansion. Until then, the Euro-USD is likely to continue falling. The US dollar is benefiting from a prolonged pause in the Fed's cycle. The economy remains strong. This is confirmed by the acceleration of retail sales to 0.6% month-on-month in November. Inflation is slowing down, and producer price growth slowed to 0.1% in October and 0.2% month-on-month in November. The central bank can afford to sit back and watch how events unfold. The sell-off of technology companies, disappointing corporate reports from major banks, and the Fed's reluctance to cut the policy rate until at least June caused the S&P 500 to close in the red for the second day in a row. The broad stock index is at risk of a correction, as Wall Street's forecasts for the fourth quarter are high. Issuers will have to work hard to justify them. Investors are looking for reasons to get rid of tech giants. The Magnificent Seven are no longer seen as either the driving force behind the S&P 500's growth or a safe haven during turmoil, as they were during the pandemic. The market is undergoing active rotation as the Russell 2000 has outperformed the S&P 500 for 9 consecutive days. This is the longest streak since the 1990s. Bank of America expects corporate earnings for technology companies to grow by 20% in the fourth quarter. For other S&P issuers, estimates range from 1% to 9%. Forecasts for the Magnificent Seven are high, and it won't be easy to justify them. This increases the risk of a broad stock index pullback. Gold took a hit following the White House announcement that tariffs on critical minerals would be postponed. Although precious metals were not on that list, other assets in the sector were. Concerns over import duties played a key role in the rally in silver, platinum, and palladium. However, the overflow of bullion in the U.S. occurred at the initial stage of the rally. Since then, other factors came into play. Gold's position looks strong. Donald Trump is attacking Venezuela and Iran and threatening Russia with new sanctions. The strengthening of the bipolar world is forcing central banks to accelerate the processes of de-dollarisation and diversification of reserves. Their active purchase of bullion is lending a helping hand to gold. The Supreme Court is likely to overturn Donald Trump's tariffs. The White House will have to return billions of dollars. Coupled with the expected bipartisan Congressional Budget Committee's $3.4 trillion budget deficit over 10 years due to tax cuts, this will increase the national debt. Declining interest in bonds and currency allows debasement trading, which is favorable for gold, to flourish. Investors have stopped wondering whether Bitcoin is a risky asset or a safe haven. They are simply buying cryptocurrency based on technical analysis signals. In this regard, Bitcoin's breakout of the 100-day moving average means more to the bulls than strategy activity or capital inflows into specialized exchange-traded funds. ETFs saw their most significant daily increase in holdings since October, amounting to $760 million. Around half of that, $351 million, flowed into Fidelity's fund. Bitcoin's exit from the medium-term consolidation range of 85,000 to 95,000 was good news for strategy. Michael Saylor's company took advantage of the fall in Bitcoin prices to build up its reserves. Between January 5th and 11th, it purchased tokens worth nearly $1.25 billion. This was the most significant purchase since July. The Bitcoin rally would not have been so rapid if it weren't for the liquidation of short positions. According to CoinGlass estimates, speculators closed $700 million in shorts across all cryptocurrencies during the day on the 13th of January. During the work week ending January 23rd, Investors will be closely watching the Supreme Court's verdict on Donald Trump's tariffs, as well as the progress of Lisa Cook's case. If the U.S. administration succeeds in dismissing the FOMC official, it will set a precedent. The White House's chances of filling the committee with doves will increase, putting pressure on the U.S. dollar. The Japanese Prime Minister may announce the dissolution of the lower house of parliament and new elections. As a result, Takaichi trading will continue to support stock indices and put pressure on bonds and the yen. A further rally in the dollar-yen risks triggering currency interventions. Noteworthy events on the economic calendar include the Bank of Japan meeting, data releases on European business activity, China and US GDP, as well as statistics on the UK labor market and inflation. Markets are concerned about the Donroe Doctrine, or Donald Trump's intention to establish US control over the entire Western Hemisphere. China's discontent could hit US technology companies and trigger a major correction in the S&P 500. As a result, demand for safe haven assets, including the US dollar, will increase. Follow the latest developments on global markets in Pro News Weekly. Like, share, and subscribe.